OG Lee in the house once again, once again. Thank goodness, thank goodness. This is a father and son case here in Georgia. And they think that they see what they think is a thief. And it's a brother that's jogging in his own neighborhood. And his neighbors and everything knows him to be a jogger. And they say that he fit the description of a thief that had been robbing houses. Yet they say we all look alike. But anyway, he fit the description. And I want to say that I would think, to be honest, that this brother probably stopped at the house. They said there was a house under construction that they thought he went in. And I like to look in houses when I see them under construction. If somebody's in there, I ask them for permission. If no one's in there, I go in and look. I like to look at carpentry and that kind of stuff. And so I don't doubt that maybe he went into the house, but I wouldn't think to steal anything. After all, he was in like jogging attire, so what could he steal and carry away or whatever? So let's say he did that. So anyway, he's jogging, and the father and son, or the father saw him, and or somehow somebody made the father aware that the guy who met the description of the thief was jogging in the neighborhood. So the father saw him run by, and called to the son, "Hey, this is the thief. I've seen him. Strap up." So they strap up and they go chase the guy down. And basically, what they do is they entrap him, and the son and the robber, the alleged robber, get into it. At first, my first instinct was that didn't sound like a shotgun, right? The next thing I looked and I saw the father, with like he had, drew his pistol. And it really looked like he was reloading. And then it went out of sight. And when it went out of sight here, I said, "Oh, I heard another shot." But I had just saw the father look like he was reloading. And then when they came back into play, they were still tussling with the shotgun. So, when they came back in play, they were still tussling with the shotgun. And then I heard another shot. Because when they came back into play, it didn't look like the brother was really incapacitated. As a matter of fact, he was really fighting even stronger. When they came back in to where I could see him, I heard another shot. But now, this shot here, you could see the gun is straight up and down, so this shot could not have struck him. And then you see the father jump out of the truck and come running around. And the father's got what looks to be the smoking gun in his hand. So they ambushed this man, basically, and ended up killing him. And I hate this because I really don't think that this is the way they intended it to be. I really do think that this guy, he saw this black dude running in his subdivision, and they probably have had some complaints about maybe a black person robbing in their subdivision. And his mind said that was the guy, since somebody else told him that, because they thought it was the guy. Why? There was a black guy in here stealing. He's black. All black people steal. Now that's their thought. So here's the guy. He's running by. That's got to be the nigga that's stealing. So somebody gives the father a call. He just retired from the police force or being an investigator or something in March after 30 years in that little town. So he think he's powerful, right? So he calls his son, basically, "Let's go get this nigga." And so they basically think that they're going to go and apprehend this guy, and wait for the cops to come. That's literally what they think. It's a citizen's arrest. They know that this is the guy who did it. And the shit went wrong.
Ow!
The shit went wrong.
Ow!
The son, started tussling with him. And he said, man, this nigga trying to knock me out.
Ow!
And as soon as they got into the tussle, the father said, well, oh, shit. He getting out on my son. I can't let him do this. And real, probably even prematurely, boom, the father is the one I think shot him. Because after all, the father's an investigator. After 30 years, I'm sure that boy is a hell of a marksman. But anyway, it ended up with the brother being killed. Had these guys not been overzealous about trying to apprehend someone, we would have had a different outcome. And what everybody's questioning, obviously, which made it really go viral, is how he could be mistaken, the brother, for a thief when he was merely out there jogging. They were trying to get him earlier, and they were calling him and trying to, get him to stop, and he wouldn't stop. And so I'm interested to know what went on. In other words, did they say something like, if you don't stop, I'm going to shoot you or something like that? Because I'm wondering, why did he come from around the vehicle and they automatically get into some kind of altercation? I mean, what prompted that? Why did he come around from as he came around, and immediately the son and the brother got into an altercation? And I'm wondering what precipitated that. Because what I would think is that the brother would have had the thought, man, I'm getting ready to get shot. Otherwise, what would make a person grab at somebody's shotgun? So I think that they're going to question the brother's mental capacity, because they've already started to do that by some stuff they were saying that happened when he brought a gun to school or something like that 10 years ago or something like that. And then he may have, I think, violated some kind of probation. They're saying that made him be this kind of person who would be violent enough to go after somebody who's armed with a shotgun. So I don't know. That's going to definitely come up, but I'd be interested to see. But this video here, I was looking at it from a different aspect. I was putting all the emphasis on the son, because that's what I heard. And so I thought, okay, the son jumped out of the truck, because that's what I heard somebody say. And I'm looking at that. That's what went into my mind. And I know I didn't see the son jump out of the truck. If he did it, boy, is he quick. Looking again. I ran in slow-mo. I said, nah, he didn't jump out of no truck. He was in the front from the jump. That's why I'm wondering what precipitated for him to be already there, stationed with the truck there in front of the truck, knowing that at some point, whether the brother went that way, up and down, around it, he had to come through him. So basically, they had him ambushed. Anyway, I think more of the emphasis needs to be put on that father. A lot of emphasis needs to be put on the fatal shots that I think were fired by the father. This is a case that we'll have to watch, because this is one, as you can see, can slip through the cracks. Anyway, this is OG Lee, and I'll see you again.